walks into my house. She's like, you just have such weird things to sit on. Can you just get a couch? Are we live?
And we are live.
Oh, sweet. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Kayleen McCabe, contractor and host, always joined with co-host Scott Shelar, who is the president and founder of SAFCA. And, normally to spend some time getting viewers up, I geek out about, one of my favorite tools and something. And so this week, Scott, I had something actually kind of handy because I got to put to use earlier this week. It's my hammer. Nice. I don't know if I've had a chance to ever geek out about this particular line of hammers. I'm not sponsored by them. These are Stiletto Hammers. And what I like is that they're titanium. And so it's a lighter hammer and it provides the same amount of strike force. So this one is my finished hammer, which is a 10 ounce, but swings more like a 12. But then I do have a framing hammer that's a 15 ounce hammer that swings like a 21 ounce hammer. And let me tell you, when you're hammering all day long, it helps to not wear your hands out with the tool. So this is my geek out. And we got to use this together actually last week building tool benches. So it was a nice handy tool around.
So that's the hammer you were using with our builds last week.
Yes. And I love how Sophie got to help us out with her heirloom hammer as well. Like, oh, what a great piece and a story. So yeah, that's my geek out for this week. But hey, Scott, what did you get up to this week? What's new?
Well, so you mentioned our build that we did with the elementary students last week. So many people in Georgia are talking about that this week, and we're getting a ton of calls and interest to do more builds with elementary students. So it was a big hit. But one of my favorite parts, my daughter Sophie, the mighty apprentice, was your helper. And she said something as we were building it that just really grabbed me. She said, hammering nails in wood is just so satisfying. She just said that out of the blue. And I was like, that's what it's all about. We tend to focus on, finding a job that pays good money, and that's important, and finding a job that has a career path, and that's important. But one of the most important things is finding something that is very satisfying, right? And so that's what's so cool about our industry is it's so, the things that craft workers do are so satisfying, whether it's hammering a nail in a board or, bending conduit or whatever it is. And, specific to the trade, it's just so satisfying. So I just wanted to lift that up this week as a reminder for all of us that I thought it was super cool.
That is such a great, and first of all, she was so much fun. And it's really, I don't know, she's a skilled builder for sure already. And putting together these kits, it's great and it's engaging, but definitely she could be building a lot bigger stuff. But you're right. There's something nice about finding enjoyment in what you do as well. All these et ceteras that come with it as far as the pay and the longevity is nice. But what a great bonus. And, we write that off. It's just a nail in wood, but there's so much more to it. It is very satisfying. I mean, I got hammers in my house. You never know.
It is. And I'm so excited about our guests this week. It reminds me a lot of our guests last time, when we had the energy sector on with us. When we think about water, we sort of take it for granted, right? I mean, that you're just going to turn on the spigot and the water is going to flow in. And we don't really think about all that it takes to get clean water to our homes, and so I'm excited to sit back and listen to our guests this week talk about, the process and the different careers that are available in the water industry. So I can't wait to sit back and hear what our friends have to say this morning.
Me too. I am really excited about it because, with the shutdowns, I had an odd opportunity to be at home for a while this year, which is not common. And during that time, my house is on residential water. I have a residential well. And so it broke down and I learned a lot about wells this summer that I was not expecting to learn. And so I'm really excited too, because it is something we take for granted and talking about the career paths. And I didn't even realize, we get to talk with the Georgia Association of Water Professionals. And I didn't even realize that there were, I don't know, I did not know. And so I'm excited to learn all about this today. So it is very, very exciting.
Yes, looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I think Christy's going to be joining us and we'll get this kicked off. So Scott, you're going to be sticking around for the rest of the show, correct?
I am. And I'll join you at the end. So looking forward to it. Y'all have fun.
Hey, thanks. We will. I'm very excited. Game on. So let's see. Hey, Chrissy, how's it going?
Hey, testing 1, 2. Am I sounding good?
You sound great. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us for lunch today. I like I think a lot of other people take water for granted, and the access that we have to it. But can you talk to me first about what is the Georgia Association of Water Professionals?
Yes, so the Georgia Association of Water Professionals is that we are an association of water professionals that come from organizations and utilities that are involved within the water and wastewater industry. And within the Georgia Association of Water Professionals, there are different committees that we have, such as Wastewater Collections Committee, Drinking Water Committee, Customer Service Committee. But we also have non-technical committees such as H2 Opportunity, which is what you're seeing on the screen. And H2 Opportunity is the Workforce Engagement Committee, where we are all about promoting the different jobs that are within the water industry. So over the past couple of years, we've been developing this website to promote more of these jobs in the industry. So that's h2opportunity.net. And through the Georgia Association, we're able to have access to a lot of resources to promote these different careers in the industry.
It's critical, because a lot of people don't realize how essential it is in our daily lives. And so can you talk about like what are some of the careers that your professionals do full time?
Yeah. So when it comes to, I like to call it our water journey, citizens and everyday people, their journey begins in the morning, right? So what was the first thing that you did this morning when you woke up, Kayleen?
Looked at my phone, made some tea.
Made some tea. And what did you need to make that tea?
Like water, yes.
Exactly, right? So it all begins with the work behind that water and how it got to your house. So it all begins at the resource, which is a drinking water resource, where there are water professionals with science backgrounds to make sure they're testing the streams, rivers, and lakes within whatever area that you're in. And so with the drinking water resource, that water is pumped to a drinking water treatment plant where there are drinking water treatment operators. And their job is to test the water at each stage of the treatment process to get all that dirt out, to get the bacteria that could be existing in the natural waterways. And in each step of the process, there is somebody there making sure the water's being treated properly with our infrastructure. And then that water moves into water distribution through the pipes to get to homes, businesses, and schools. But with the amount of pipes, you might be surprised with the amount of pipes that are actually underground that are drinking water system pipes and wastewater system pipes. They're separate systems, of course. And sometimes those pipes need to be maintained. So we also have drinking water sort of system maintenance crews who actually save the day if there's a leak in our system, if there's an issue in our service lines. So that's also a full-time job. And then it gets to your house. And then after you're done with tea, did you have any tea left in your cup, or did you drink it all?
I will have a little bit left.
Well, you have to put that down the drain, right? You have to clean off that cup. So where does that water go when it goes down the drain? And then it moves into our wastewater collection system, which are our sewer lines, service lines. And we have another team of system maintenance crew members who can work both on drinking water and wastewater pipes. So if there is sometimes people flush things down the toilet that should not be flushed, and there can be issues in the service lines. So there are people that have to fix those service lines, and then that water makes it to a wastewater treatment plant, where there are also operators that clean the wastewater at every single stage. And I always tell the kids, because I also teach kids about water conservation and quality, do you think they only work there 8 hours a day, those operators and crew members?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
And I bet they work weekends.
Yes, exactly. Weekends, at night while you're sleeping, they're cleaning that water. And on Thanksgiving, somebody's going to be away from their family to make sure that you have safe, clean drinking water and safe sanitation. And not a lot of people have that around the world. So, and there's so many different jobs that I didn't even get to mention, but there are also things that have to do with stormwater infrastructure, as well as the machines and the different skilled trades that are involved in building that infrastructure as well.
It's incredible. I mean, you just take like, water. Okay, cool. Maybe we're going to shower, we're going to flush the toilet, go crazy. But no, there's so much more to it. Yes. And the different careers, you have scientists, you have engineers. I mean, you're employing architects to build some of the stuff, and then down to, operators, plumbers. It's awesome. so with all of those different career kind of opportunities and paths, how would somebody get started? You know, let's say I'm in high school. I kind of feel like I just feel like I feel like a Wayne's World character for real. I'm just a little goofy today. So I'm back in high school. How am I going to find a career, get started in this? And you know, maybe not a career, but what are my first steps?
Yes. So if you are interested in going into a career in water, there are so many different opportunities for you, whether you want to pursue something with more hands-on work, with more technical science work, and maybe even some management positions. So it really does depend. If you're coming out of high school, there is a job out there for you. So I recommend looking at the different organizations or the utilities within your county. And a lot of the utilities, actually, we have our internship page here. If we were to scroll down, each of the organizations within the county governments have internship opportunities or apprenticeship opportunities where you are there full-time. And if you wanted to be a wastewater operator, right, you can get that job and you get on the job training. You get to be paid to do the certification. You don't have to go out of your way to go into your savings to get that certificate. It's all on the job. So there's no student loan debt here if you were to just come right out of high school. And you can look on h2opportunity.net. We have those links for you. And even within what we're looking at right now is our toolbox, which we talk about the different careers that you can have from GED to PhD. There is a job for you in the water industry, right? So you want to make sure you look at your local government, see those power utilities, water utilities specifically. Sometimes they're put together, and they offer that on-the-job training. So all you have to do is just apply. And
it's just that simple. And what a wonderful resource this website is to really start to connect those dots, because it is sort of bringing awareness and kind of stature back to all positions. You don't have to be a PhD to be respected in this industry. And you're right. The on-the-job training is where you learn it at. How are you going to teach gravity if you're just looking at a book? You know, doesn't quite work that way. So, you know, we talked about how there are a lot of opportunities to apply for jobs and get free training, and then great pay. What other, you know, are they, let me throw this softball. Are there opportunities for advancement then? So if you go in and you get your first certificate, could I eventually say be the owner of a company?
Yes. In fact, there are many utilities within the Georgia Association of Water Professionals where people were starting out as operators, and then eventually they became the director of the whole utility. It's all about serving in that process. And there is a line of succession, you know, with an operator's license, there are different grades that you can get and certified for, because they want you to stay within this industry. A lot of people think that if you have a high school diploma or a GED or just an associate's degree that you can't have a career. Well, we believe that whatever job you do, there is a career for you, and there is a way that you can advance in that and you can go into a management position without needing a bachelor's degree. So within Douglas County, where we're going to talk with Emily, which I'm sure you'll introduce her in a moment. Her director started out within the wastewater and drinking water operations.
Wow. And that is, I don't know, it's so refreshing, because I don't have a college education. That was a secret that I kept close to the chest for a long time, but I think, you know, it's kind of all right. I think I'm doing fine. But you never stop learning. And that's the most important thing. And what amazing opportunities to have continued growth potential. With that, are there internships that folks can find with the association?
So with the Georgia Association does have a career center, which is pulled up on the screen right now. And within the career center, those are mainly advertising entry-level jobs and what else? They also advertise upper jobs. So when I recommend, if you're looking for an entry-level job, if you're ready to become that operator or that maintenance crew member, you can look on this page and you can find that opportunity there. But if you want to look for an internship, you can refer to h2opportunity.net. So if we were to scroll down on this webpage real quick, so you scroll down, you can click search openings. And that can give you a general overview of what's available, so there's a lot of things where you can put in those keywords. It's another job search site with the Georgia Association of Water Professionals. H2 Opportunity just brings you those specific internships that we know that you can click and find it immediately through that avenue as well.
That's amazing. Making the search a whole lot easier. You
Yes.
know, another group that I'd like to talk with you about, teachers. If there are teachers who are watching right now and they want to bring some educational materials into their classroom, how do you have anything available for students like that?
Yes, we do. We have our toolbox within h2opportunity.net. And on there, we have some helpful links that they can use. So if we were to scroll down, our first section talks about the different materials that we've been able to design for free. So we have a middle school brochure, a high school card, a college card, and what is a water wastewater operator brochure, so they can hand those out to their students and engage them in the water industry. And if you were to scroll a little bit more, we have links and lessons as well. And there is another tab that you can click around and find some more specifics on grade level stuff. But not only should you educate about the careers in the water industry, we can also educate about the way we use water, the way we should save water and prevent pollution of our waterways as well. So within those links, you can find some lessons there. And counselors can also have that access to advertise to their students different careers that they can have for the rest of their lives in serving their community.
That's amazing. What a nice little packet of information this website is. Because a lot of people, I've been fortunate enough to travel to other countries where a hot shower is not a thing. It's something that we definitely take for granted here. And I think educating, making sure that people are educated about how valuable of a resource it is, all the work it goes into getting what we have, and how we are very lucky to have drinking water most of the time from the tap that's good to drink. So it's wonderful opportunities to start educating, and then hopefully we'll inspire some kids and get them long-term careers in this.
That's
and I'm really
excited. I got in the industry myself. A water professional spoke in my college class and spoke about the industry and conservation, and I was really fascinated by it. And after I asked for her card, and then she ended up being my boss. She hired me. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, so it's all about, you can, teachers and counselors, I highly encourage you. There are people within the county governments that are trained to educate on this. So you can contact them as well, and they can come virtually talk to your students as well.
That is a wonderful, thank you for saying that too, because to harness the power of virtualness right now and get students the opportunity to see, right? Exactly. We're hanging out, but not really, it's great. The students to see really what it looks like to work in the industry and chat with true professionals like we are with Emily. I'm so excited about, speaking to all levels of this industry, making sure we highlight you can do anything. There's really no career path in the construction world that you can't do. So Chrissy, thank you so much for taking the time and geeking out with us. And just before you go, can you please repeat that website one more time where everybody can find this awesome information?
Well, we can look down here, h2opportunity.net. So go ahead and look for your career path. Whether you have a GED to PhD, there is an industry and a career for you. We would love to work alongside you.
H2, whoa, cool. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Chrissy. Awesome. And Emily, hi, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for taking time off, especially coming off the field to come sit on a computer and chat for a minute is not always easy. So thank you for taking the time. Can you tell me, what do you do in the industry?
Well, right now I'm transitioning from wastewater operations into the industrial surveillance officer job in our lab. So I went from running a wastewater plant into going, and yesterday we toured a few data centers just to see what water output they're doing, etc. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. But today I'm back at the plant.
That's awesome. No, it's fantastic. Yeah. And so can you tell me, what does a typical day look like for you?
Well, as an operator, I would make sure the process is doing what we want it to do, which is making the water great to go into the streams and rivers, to make everything great so that there's no overgrowth and it's healthy for the environment.
That's awesome. Yeah, managing and maintaining all that is critical. It's something that I am aware of these careers, but I still take it for granted every time I go get a glass of water. But without you doing that, I wouldn't have that. So, what was the training that you had to operate a plant?
Well, I started as an operator in training where I walked straight out of high school onto the job and got trained by other operators.
What?
And then the company I work for sent me to a school called I think it's Georgia Water and Wastewater Institute, where I went to classes in order to go actually get my certification as an operator. So
That's
so far
amazing.
it's trading.
I'm so jealous. Hang on. So how did you in high school think like, okay, I'm going to go do this? Like, how did you find out about it?
Well, I didn't know exactly what I was planning on doing after high school. And my mom worked for WSA. And she knew that they participated in the shadow program that we had at my school. So she told me I should apply for it, and whatever section they put me in, just go and do it and see if you enjoy it. And I got to shadow my current deputy director, Keith, for a day, which was cool. There was a lot more into it than I thought there was originally. Like, you don't think everything is how it is. Like, you don't realize you do a lot of lab work, you do hands-on work, it's outside, it's inside, it's different day to day. And it's a lot of problem solving mostly. But yeah, that's how I did it. I shadowed. And then it's like I was about to graduate like within like a week or two, and there became an operator in training position at WSA, and my mom said apply for it, so I did. So luckily I got interviewed, I got it, I was excited, and I just took the opportunity and ran with it. And
that's amazing. That is beyond fantastic. I mean, to have run with it, are you happy with what you do?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so cool to hear. I mean, not many students harness that opportunity or take advantage of internship or shadowing.
Right. And it's something that needs to happen more so, because I'm very young for the field I'm in, and a lot of people are retiring. The turnover rate is even getting more and more apparent at our company as well. Like, it's insane.
It is. And I mean, it's insane. But then also you look at your opportunity for promotions and growth is going to increase as that population retires. And you're going to be, you're going to own all of it. It's awesome. So hang on. What are the secret words we should tell students right now to check this out? Like, is there like hash browns? It's hip. I don't know. Like, what?
I have no idea.
All right.
No idea.
Because it's such a good thing. And I don't know, I think sometimes we scare students away by talking about careers, but you have like life experience and then also a great career. So yeah, all right, we'll noodle on it. Side question, with the training that you have and getting your certificates, how much have you spent in your education?
I actually didn't have to spend anything. They paid for my class 3 with my OIT. I'm a class 2 operator right now. They paid for my class 3 to go get it and get the test, and they paid for that. And then with my class 2, I paid for that out of pocket. But when you pass it in all the classes, you get reimbursed for all of that. So technically, no, I haven't paid anything.
That's amazing. That is like, that's also the secret, because and hang on then. So if you want to continue your training and advancement, are there opportunities for you to do so?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm currently trying to get my class 1. It's a lot harder, but I'm trying to get that, and I should be able to get that reimbursed. But we also have internally with our company, we have a program that they have, like a leadership program where you shadow, very similar to Shadow Day, where you shadow each department to see if you even are interested or what have you there. And then we also, our company has a college reimbursement as well. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, it sounds like they really want to keep you around.
Yes. And they do. Usually people who get hired here, they usually stay until the end.
And that's not happening more and more. They're saying now that, people have so many different careers and jobs, but you have such a great opportunity. So where do you see yourself in like 5 years after you get your class 1? What's next?
I have no idea. So I'm excited to see. I'm going into the lab. So it's very different and learning a lot. And I'm excited just because I've been doing this 11 years. Now it's to add more experience with diving deeper into the lab aspect.
Yeah, do you get to wear a lab coat now?
No, not yet.
Okay. Cool. Just another cool perk.
Yeah.
11 years. I'm just so excited for this opportunity, and I really want more students to check it out because, obviously being part of the association too, how has being a part of the association helped you in your career? Like, do you network? Are you exposed to other professionals in the industry?
When we go to conferences, to get recertification points, we have to go to conferences. So you network there and you get to see technology that your plant doesn't have. You get to see other plants, and you also get to hear about programs other utilities have as well. And there's a lot out there that have different kind of programs, some better, some worse, but everybody's trying to bring young people in, which I think is great.
It is, because otherwise the industry is not going to survive much longer, and we need this too.
No,
it's
not
all
at
critical.
all. Right.
Someday I think we all want to retire. Yeah, Emily, I mean, okay, so I guess you don't know the magic words, but do you have anything on, say the student or even the guidance counselor listening on why do you like what you do?
Well, because some days it can be the same, but some days you get issues. I like problem solving myself. And I find it when I solve an issue, it's really rewarding. Or if I learn something I didn't know how to do previously, it's really rewarding. So I guess people, if they enjoy problem solving, they enjoy science, definitely come into this field because it doesn't seem like it would be that intense, but it is. It's way different. A lot of people are grossed out because it's wastewater is what I'm in, but it's really not. The odor control stuff, everybody would think it comes and it's come to the plant and it smells, and it's not like that. That's one thing we usually get is how this doesn't smell like what I would think a wastewater plant smells like. I'm like, yeah, we strive to do that.
But that's on purpose.
Exactly. But it's a lot different than what people would imagine, because not a lot of people know. They don't realize that we exist. It doesn't think you open a drain, you flush something, you don't realize where it goes. You don't think about it. No,
it is fascinating. I bet a lot of homeowners who really think that everything just stays in the tank behind it. So with the toilet, oh, okay, close, but very close. No, it's a critical part. And Emily, thank you so much for taking the time. And good luck getting your class 1. That's super
Thank
cool.
you.
And I can't wait to come to Georgia and tour your plant and geek out. Because my brain understands it, but I want to come see it in person so I can show everybody else. There's scientists and there's engineers and there's plumbers. Everybody's hanging out doing great stuff.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's awesome. So thank you for taking the time. And Christy and Scott, welcome back. This was amazing. This was incredibly informative, and I'm so excited. And thank you too for the resources that you've provided, Christy. That's going to be really valuable for our fans. Hopefully we'll break the internet with that. So fingers crossed. Scott, what did you think?
Great.
Kayleen, my favorite part is always when you ask our students how much they spent on their education. There's always a little bit of a pause, and they say, I didn't spend anything. And that's what Emily said this morning. And one of my favorite responses was the young man that you asked when he said $0.00. And we talk about free training all the time, but it's different when we hear directly from people in our industry and they say, I didn't spend a thing on my education, and here I am with a great career. Meanwhile, there's a great article, I think it was yesterday in the Wall Street Journal, talking about people throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars at a college degree and then not making enough money to pay off all of that debt, and so it's interesting, but I think the word is getting out. Thanks to people like Emily and Chrissy, helping us spread that word. So thank y'all so much for being with us today. It was great to hear your message, and we'll just keep working together to get the word out.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm so glad that we can be partners with this. It's great.
Yeah, we'll continue to promote it and get the word out, because I'm sure Emily too is going to need 50, 100 more employees. Chop, chop. Come on, kids. Get employed. So thank you again for all the great information. And next week we're taking off because it's Thanksgiving. So we're all going to be thankful for a week off. And then after that, we're going to be with a dynamic organization called Explore the Trades. I'm really excited to chat with them as well. And again, as normal, if you have any questions, you can always text Career Path to 31996. Nailed it this week. Woo! All right. And yeah, we will see you all next in a few weeks. So have a great time off. And again, Emily, Chrissy, thank you again.
Sounds good. Thank you,
Thank
Kayleen.
you so much.